What is up, YouTube? It is Onion Bomb here on Ascent Sports, and welcome back to another mock draft video. This is very spur of the moment. I didn't really expect to do another mock draft video because me, Isaiah, and Jimmy did the one probably almost a month ago now, and that I didn't really plan on doing another one. It's just me today, but I thought of this fun idea. Well, I got inspired really by a YouTuber you probably know if you know mock draft stuff by the name of Bangle. He, for one of his mock draft Mondays, did this video, and I kind of want to do as well. In fact, a lot of the wheel options here I got from him. Some I thought of myself, but majority of them are the ones on his reel as well. So check out his video as well. Big inspiration for this. Pretty much I'm doing the same video, okay. But yeah, this is not going to be a normal mock draft. This is going to be a mock draft based on this wheel. So wherever this wheel lands on is how we're going to make the pick. Also, I'm sorry I'm using mock draft database. I'm not using PFF because I'm not paying $25 a month just to make trades and to do more than one mock draft a day. So I know it's a little bit different. The big board and whatnot, but honestly, some are like, this is kind of more accurate for some things. Like Jalen Walker has been jumping up boards, but PFF still has him like way down there, and PFF still has like Jackson Dart being like QB5, I think. And I know not everyone's sold on Dart, but I feel like Milroe's the only question. I think he's at very least factually QB4 in the draft, if not factually QB3. So I don't know about that one, but yeah. So this is what we got. We have first my pick. Basically, I'm gonna pick for the team what I would pick if I was picking for the team. I have an offensive pick, easy. Pick an offensive player. Defense, pick a defensive player. The consensus pick, basically, the consensus maybe amongst fans, maybe amongst analysts, what pick is going. Some I kind of know off the top of my head, looking into mock draft stuff. Others I might need to look into a bit. And of course we have reach, and then we have huge reach, and then we have completely crazy. Now, completely crazy, but still in the somewhat realm of possibility. Like, I don't mean like a kicker in the first round, like, cause that's just kind of stupid. But I mean maybe like a day two guy going in the first round. Maybe even day three, maybe even a little bit day three, but something that's completely crazy, like more than a huge reach, but still like maybe there's a possibility. It makes sense a little bit. Like maybe a team just really likes someone, and then we have trade down. Basically we'll trade down pick, and I'm also gonna do how Bengal did it. It has to make sense a little bit. Like I'll try to like see like who would trade up for who at what. Like if, for example, if we rolled that first spin, like I don't know, maybe the Giants come up for Ward, which I mean now that might not happen with the signing of Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, but it's still, I think it's still possible. And we have SEC, non-SEC. Easy, self-explanatory there. Then we have someone else's pick. That is actually going to bring us to a second wheel here. And we're going to pick the wheel. We're going to spin the wheel of someone else's pick. We have my Ascent Sports pick because, like I said, we already did a mock draft this year. And I actually like, it's only 2 weeks old. It's only 2 weeks old. So it didn't age poorly yet. Maybe things are a little bit, for some, but I don't think so completely yet. So if we land on that, it's gonna be who I picked for that team at the Ascent Sports, video. Same thing with who Jimmy picked and who Isaiah picked. These are all, guys from Ascent Sports, my friends. And then we also have Mel Kiper's pick, who I believe just 2 days ago had a mock draft 4.0 or 3.0 release. And then Daniel Jeremiah, on March 18th. With that's going on month old. Had a 3.0 mock draft. That's the newest one I saw. Just a few days older than older than RSN Sports one, so it shouldn't be that bad. And we have Bengals pick, like I said, where I got this idea from. His most recent mock draft Monday happened 2 days ago. We're gonna just go off of that one. So yeah, if we land on someone else's pick, that's what's going to happen there. And then, excuse my PC if you can hear that. The fans go crazy sometimes. We're dealing with a lot of tabs open right now. And for the last one, we have same position as the 2015 draft. So I have the 2015 draft up here. So what did teams pick a decade ago? That same position they're gonna pick for this dream if we land on that option. And if I land on this and we get someone's pick and their pick has already been picked, we're just gonna pick the similar position. This isn't gonna be accurate, guys. This isn't gonna be accurate, but we'll see here. So we're gonna give it a shuffle, maybe a few shuffles. Give this one a few shuffles as well. And we're going to get started here with the first pick, the Tennessee Titans on the clock. They're going to just go with my pick here. So who am I picking for the Tennessee Titans? Starting it off kind of basic, but I still think it is Cam Ward. I think it's all but certain to be Cam Ward. I mean, they need a best QB on the board. Just because the QB class this year might not be, as good as previous years doesn't mean Cam Ward can't be good. So yeah, that probably would have been the consensus as well. That's also my pick. Easy enough, Cam Ward. However, next is a little bit more interesting. The Browns, they could go still a few different ways. Like, that I've been seeing more Abdul Carters and Travis Hunters than, Shaders or even, Wards for some, but what is it going to be here? Can the wheel help me out a little bit? And it has to be from the SEC. Ooh, okay. So, that is very interesting. That actually removes a lot. A lot, actually. So, no Abdul Carter, no Travis Hunter, no Shadur, no even Mason Graham. Do they go Will Campbell? Or, I think I like I'm going to go with Jalen Walker. Jalen Walker has been going up draft boards a lot, and could see that being a Browns pick weirdly. Like they just like Jalen Walker over Abdul Carter, but they want to go edge. Something out, maybe not out complete realm of possibility, but it's weird. It's weird, but that's what we get for this draft. Maybe I should have went with Will Campbell. Maybe they do need O-line, but maybe a little. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. If we're just going to move on, Browns take Jalen Walker. Probably the weirdest thing in this draft so far, but it's only pick 2, so it's going to get a lot weirder. And we're going back in the SEC for the Giants. Ooh, okay, so still no Abdul Carter, still no Travis Hunter, still no Shadur, still no Mason Graham, no Genty. We're getting back to Will Campbell or Membu. I think. I think Jihad Campbell's a little too high here. I think this has to be Will Campbell. I think. I don't know I'm gonna go Campbell. I think it could be Campbell or Membu. I think it's up in the air who's like the true one tackle there. But I guess the Giants want O-line over some of this stuff. So definitely definitely some weirdness going on. This is the fun of this though. The fun of this. Let's see if we can get back on track a little bit. And we're going with an offensive pick. So I am, for the sake of trying to keep this a little bit normal, I'm actually going to consider Travis Hunter an offensive player because he can play both sides of the ball, offense and defense. And I think the Patriots would need more of a weapon for May than a corner. But I could see him playing two ways there a little bit in New England. So yeah, give me Travis Hunter for New England. I think that also makes a lot of sense. It's a very realistic pick. So yeah. Next up, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars here. What are we going to do with them? And we have to do a non-SEC player. So yeah, that kind of makes sense here. Do they go Carter or do they go with their consensus Mason Graham? Do they pass up on Carter? Maybe this is bold or crazy, but I don't know. They have Trayvon Walker. They have Josh Hines Allen now. I'm gonna see. I don't know. I feel like every mock draft is taking Mason Graham. And this is a chance for something a little bit different. Oh, I don't know here. I'm gonna stick with Mason Graham. I don't know if that was stupid. I'm gonna stick with Mason Graham. But yeah, Abdul Carter is still on the board. Next up, we do have the Raiders, and it has to be a lot of SEC right now. We're getting a lot of the same stuff. Membu, I guess? I think Membu's the only one that makes sense. Unless they're trying for a edge here. Someone who I think could go a little bit earlier than people are saying is James Pierce Jr., maybe. I know he's fallen off a bit, but once upon a time he was ranked highly up there. I know there have been some things, but I don't know I don't think they'd take him over Carter if they want edge. But if they want, I think it only makes sense that if they want O-line. I don't think they want O-line. I think they'd, I think the pick here, if I'd either go Genty or Shadur, but I'm going to say they go Membu, even though that makes this next pick a little awkward because the Jets are definitely going with O-line, it seems. But we'll see. I don't know. Maybe they get someone else now with some of these falls. Let's see who we get. Let's not land on the SEC again, please. We have to go with someone else's pick. Okay. So that brings us to this wheel. And who else's pick are we going with here? And that pick is going to be... We're looking for Jimmy's pick. Okay, Jimmy's pick on our mock draft video we did 2 weeks ago for the New York Jets. Unfortunately, it is looking like it was Will Campbell. With that, I'm just going to go with the next best option. We're going to go with Calvin Banks because that's the next highest rated tackle in the draft here. Yeah, I mean, O-line, not the ones that they wanted. Probably would have went Abdul Carter or Tyler Warren even, but this is the Wheels draft, not mine. So the Panthers, what are they? Can they get Carter here? No, SEC again, bruh. If we get that one more time, I might reshuffle, but I don't know what this wheel's doing. And we're running out of stuff that makes sense here. Oh man. I think here we are looking at Jihad Campbell. Or wait a minute. Do we get? Ooh, wait. I think I like. Ooh, this might be a little bit of a reach. But what about Matthew Golden? Another weapon for Bryce Young. Is that worth it at pick 8 though? I don't know. I see SEC right now though is a little bit of a reach though in itself. Because if I've got this pick with this board, I'd go Abdul Carter, no questions asked. But we have to pick in the SEC. Do we go Shamir Stewart or Michael Williams? Do we stick with the edge? Do we go Jahdae Barron? Oh, I don't know. There's been a lot of hype for Campbell though. I'm going to go Campbell. I don't know. That might be dumb, but I don't know what else makes sense here, personally. Like, being restricted to the SEC. Yeah, I'm just going to go Campbell. Really weird fall from, Abdul Carter here. But honestly, everything else, like, isn't insane per se, but we are getting a bit weird, definitely. So what else do we have? We're going with defense. Well, I mean, it's gotta be, it's gotta be Abdul Carter. Like, no matter what at this point, like, he falls this point, you gotta get Saints get Abdul Carter. Definitely a big fall, but I mean, maybe. Like who knows? Some stuff weird happens. Probably not, but I think I'm glad we finally got him off the board because now we're kind of sort of back to normal. Or maybe a little bit, maybe some reaches, but hey, let's see what else we can get here for the Bears here. And it is going to be my pick. So my pick for the Chicago Bears with this board is actually an easy one for me. I'm going Ashton Jeanty. They got their O-line pretty down pat. Like, if there's, Will Campbell or Mara Membu there, I think you could take them and, like, really solidify it. But, their defense played solid last year. They still have Caleb Williams, he's still got to develop a bit. Like, maybe they could get another weapon because I don't believe they signed Keenan Allen. But they still have DJ Moore and Odunze. I think, DeAndre Swift's solid, but I don't think he's an Ashton Jeanty. And if you get Ashton Jeanty, you get a run game going, Ben Johnson, new head coach, I think you really, really could see a running back. Even if Ashton Jeanty's not there, they could even reach for Hampton at 10. But yeah, I really like Jeanty to the Bears. When I very first started making mock drafts, like in February, I would mock up Jeanty to the Bears, but I recently kind of had him go into the Raiders and whatnot earlier. But I think there is a very, very possibility that he goes there. So yeah, who do we got for the 49ers? The San Francisco 49ers. We need the consensus pick. Okay. You're going to have to give me a second. I actually am not sure the consensus pick of the Niners. Okay, so the consensus for me is looking like defense, though I've seen a Membu or two, but I'm seeing a lot of defense, and I'm either seeing corner or an edge. And I think the pick here, I'm leaning towards, from what I've seen a little bit more corners. It's a little over the place. There's not really a true consensus, but I think Will Johnson makes a lot of sense here, and I think that's what I'm looking at. Really, I've seen a few Barons as well. Could have went that way, but man, with the way the wheels going with the SEC, we gotta get some non-SEC off the board. That's not the reason, but I think that's a very real possibility. So I tried the best there. That was a little hard to find a consensus, but it seemed like defense was the pick. So I just kind of had to lean towards corner a bit. So who we got next? We got the Dallas Cowboys, and they're going to be picking something completely crazy. What is completely crazy for the Cowboys? Would it be taking Shadur? You know, there was some talks about there were some talks about Dak hitting free agency, but they did get a deal done. Well, what would be kind of crazy, complete. Ooh, or do we go somewhere like taking Luther Burden over Golden and Tetaroa, or is that just a huge reach? Would it be something like maybe where's Jack Betch or Trey Harris, like someone who's like a really good option in like round two, but did they pull the trigger at 12? I'm not sure. Screw it. It said completely crazy. We gotta go crazy. Give me Shadur Sanders on the Cowboys. Like what would like that would be crazy. Like just out of nowhere. You know, I listen. This isn't for accuracy. This is for fun. So completely crazy. Shadur Sanders. The Cowboys like him. They move off of Dak. They get a future. They get someone who they trust in the future. Is that gonna happen? Probably not, but who knows? Who knows? The Cowboys can be weird sometimes. All right, who we got next here? Or mainly what we got next here? We got another someone else's pick. What team are we looking at again? We're looking at the Miami Dolphins. Whose Miami Dolphins pick are we looking at, and is it going to still be on the board? We're looking at Mel Kiper's pick. Mad Mel Kiper. He has the Miami Dolphins picking Jahdae Barron, cornerback from Texas. I like that pick. There's nothing weird about that at all. Definitely think Miami goes corner, maybe O-line. Both of those are in play here. Yeah, just that pick made all the sense in the world to me. So we're maybe back on normalcy. We'll see. Okay, the Colts are not gonna get Tyler Warren. They're going to trade down. So, with who though? Who would want what? I mean, I think what makes sense here is someone either wanting maybe Tyler Warren, maybe though I'm really thinking a wide receiver like Tetaroa or Matthew Golden. But who wants that though? Who wants I don't know what the Seahawks. No, they signed Cup. I don't think any of these guys have like unless the Bengals trade up a little bit for a defensive person. They're not necessarily flying off the board. I think you can maybe stick and pick there. This I don't love this, but the wheel landed. I can't really find out what else makes sense here, but the I'm sorry, not the Dolphins. The Colts, they're going to trade. They're going to trade with the Broncos for. This is a decent jump, I think. Okay, they're just a third. And the Broncos are going to come up, and they're going to get one of these offensive weapons here. They're going to take Matthew Golden, Tetaroa McMillan, or Tyler Warren. Who do the Broncos have at tight end? Does it justify not taking Tyler Warren? If Evan Ingram. I don't know. What was the deal looking like for that? Man, I'm gonna go Tetaroa. I know. I've seen some mock drafts. They didn't need to do this, but I think they need wide receiver a little bit more than tight end with Evan Ingram now. They could definitely go Tyler Warren. That's definitely not out of the or especially trading up, but I just feeling Tetaroa there just a little bit more, just a little bit more. But yeah, sorry if I'm ever being stupid. You know, the wheel makes this very interesting. And now we need a non-SEC from the Atlanta Falcons. Okay, well, the Atlanta Falcons. I've seen a lot of edge here. So that gets rid of Shamir Stewart, Michael Williams, James Pierce, but does not get rid of Mike Green, and I think that's going to be the pick. Mike Green seems like a really good edge, just some character concerns, but I not too concerned about that. I think he should be fine. And that could have been Tyler Warren, but I'm not with Kyle Pitts. That's why I just kind of, shoot that away. So yeah, now we have the Arizona Cardinals. This is a good one because there's not too much wrong here. Like, they could pick... I mean, they can't go Warren because of McBride. But okay. They're going to pick the same position as 2015. So, the 2015 draft. The Arizona Cardinals selected... They selected DJ Humphries, who was a offensive tackle. Okay, so they're going O-line. Not out of the realm of possibility. Josh Simmons, I think, makes a lot of sense here. I mean, with all this on the board, maybe, I probably would go, like, defensive, like Walter Nolan or James Pierce, but they went open O-line. That doesn't hurt the team at all. So, very interesting. Now, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. This one, if we get offense, I might re-roll because I don't know. Unless they really want Tyler Warren. But that defense... Okay, thank you. Thank you, Wheel. Thank you. They get the defense here. Okay, so... Defensive player. It's gotta be, I think, an edge rusher here, or either Walter Nolan or maybe Kenneth Grant. I've seen Nolan go over them a bit. Who do I like here? I think... I'm tempted to go Pierce or Michael Williams or Walter Nolan. I'm gonna go... Give me Michael Williams for the Cincinnati Bengals. Add an edge there. Alright, let's see what the Seahawks, the Seattle Seahawks are picking now. They are going with, same position as 2015. The Seattle Seahawks in 2015. By the way, we're looking at the first round. However, it's not looking like the Seahawks have a first round pick in the 2015 draft. That's my eyes just playing tricks on me. It doesn't look like it. It looks like their first pick was in the second round. Frank Clark, defensive end. So, we're just going to go right back to the edge position and give them James Pierce Jr. People may be wondering why not going Shamir Stewart. I don't know. I just got feeling like Pierce a bit better here. Maybe that could be Stewart, but I'm just feeling Pierce. So, all right. We spin again. We are now at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we are SEC, maybe. Yeah, SEC. So, Bucks, could go Shamir Stewart. I don't think they go Matthew Golden. Yeah, I think Stewart's the pick here. Nothing else is either doesn't make sense or isn't as SEC. Um, so yeah, Shamir Stewart for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Another edge rusher off the board. Now we have man, the Indianapolis Colts trading back and still getting Tyler Warren. That would be just absolutely crazy for them. They're trading down again? Okay, I mean, maybe they just don't want Tyler Warren, or they think they can do it again. Man, I don't know here. Who comes up for... I don't know. Who comes up... Okay, this one might not make it too much sense, but it's more of something we have to do. I mean, this is not making any sense regardless, because the Colts are not going to pass up on Tyler Warren twice. But the Chargers, they're just... this is just a small trade. Just move up a few spots for a fourth. The trade compensation, I'm just going with where it lets me go. The Chargers are gonna jump up, and they're tired of the Colts playing games, so they're gonna go ahead and get Tyler Warren themselves. Yeah, I had to trade that one away. I think trading back twice, I don't want to go too far. It may make sense. I wouldn't think the Colts would do that, but hey, it's what the conch has spoken, so that's what we have to do. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers up next. This is my favorite team. This is my team. What are we doing? What are we doing here? Of course, for me, knowing that, it's going to be offense. So, in my original mock draft, I did have us going Dart. I started to take Kenneth Grant here or Walter Nolan, whoever is here. But, I don't know, do we take Amarian Hampton? Do we pair him up with Jaylen Warren with the Najee's departure? And I almost hate to say it. Do we even take Jalen Milroe? I feel like Jalen Milroe is in play here at 21 for the Steelers. It may be crazy. I don't really like it because I don't really trust us developing quarterbacks, which is kind of why I'm starting to be a little iffy with Dart as well. But the Steelers, they don't have their second round pick anymore at the Metcalf trade. And I don't think you're getting Jalen Milroe in towards the end, middle of the third. We have pick 83 or something. I don't think you get Jalen Milroe there. So if I've been seeing them kind of showing a liking to Milroe. If they want Milroe, they might have to take him here. Oh man, I'm gonna do it, man. Jackson Dart, Steelers' next quarterback. It's in the realm of possibility. I think they go for it. Could be Milroe, too. All right, Colts. Are you finally picking? After all that, you reach. Oh, man. What are the Colts reaching for? Colston Loveland may have been my pick. That's not a reach, though, at this point. What is a reach? I've seen Nick Emanwari kind of fall. Is that considered a reach? Remember, this isn't completely crazy, or it's not a huge reach, so I don't know. Would Maxwell Hairston be a reach here? I've seen him go towards the end. 22? I don't know if that's a reach or not. Would Revel be a reach here? Revel might be a reach. Amos might be. I think I'm going with a corner. I think a corner would be a little bit of a reach here. I think Thomas is a little too much. I think we're looking at Amos or Revel. I'm gonna go with Revel. I feel that that's a better reach there. I don't think it's a insane reach. I didn't think Maxwell Hairston is a reach there. Maybe you could say that, but I don't know. I think I hit that one pretty good. Maybe. I don't know. All right, Packers time to shine. See what we're looking at, and we are looking at something SEC. So I think I know what I want to pick here. And yeah, I think we're going Matthew Golden here. Getting another weapon for Jordan Love. I think it makes the most sense there. Texas, SEC, a big SEC here. I think he's gone at this point in like a real draft, but I like the pick. Next up, Minnesota Vikings. My pick for them is still here, but we're going with someone else's pick. So let's see who else's pick we're going with, and that is going to be. We're going with Jimmy's pick. Okay. Jimmy, in our video just a little bit ago, has the. It is Nick Emenwari, safety from South Carolina. I could see that, definitely. I think he's fallen a little bit, but they could definitely still take him in here. My pick would have been Omarion Hampton, but safety's still good here. So yeah, let's see who else we have. Got some good players left on the board still. So let's see here. Next pick is we're reaching? It's SEC? No, we're reaching. Okay, so we are reaching. The Texans are going to reach here. For me, I feel like one of these guards. I know I think Gray Zabel is better than Tyler Booker. But I think one of the Donovan Jackson or Tyler Booker is it maybe Wyatt Millum? He felt really bad since the beginning. I think that'd be a little bit of an insane reach, but I could see Josh Corley. That's a fine pick here. I think. This would be a reach, but that may be a little too much. I think either Tyler Booker or Donovan Jackson is going to be a reach here. We'll go with Donovan Jackson. Still some decent O-line, but just a little bit of a reach for where they are in the draft. We got Rams time, and we're going with something. Your consensus or someone else's pick? Someone else's pick. Okay. So let's see who else's pick. Do we go back to Jimmy, or we're going with Bengal, it looks like. Okay. So who does Bengal have the Rams drafting? Okay, it looks like Bengal has the Rams drafting Josh Simmons, who is long gone for me. So we are going to stick in the same position group, but Josh Cornelly. Josh Cornelly? I probably said that wrong. But Josh Cornelly from Oregon. Still a good tackle and probably a good pick, but Josh Simmons probably would have been a little more ideal there, but he was off the board for me. So, let's see what the Ravens are going with here. And it's going to be offense. Offense. Cause they have Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. They're not taking Colston Loveland. Amarian Hampton, I mean, talk about a luxury pick with Derrick Henry. I don't think you pick that there. I think this has to be O-line. Yeah, I guess I forgot about Gray Zabel. I think that's a good pick. Yeah, give the Ravens a guard. Pretty good guard even. Yeah, Gray Zabel. That actually wasn't as bad as I thought. I forgot about that. They don't really need. I mean, maybe receiver. Who is left? Burden. Yeah, no. I think Gray. If the Ravens do go offense, I think Gray Zabel's the move there. So coming down to a little bit. Still some picks left. We are going with someone else's pick again for who? The Lions. Okay, whose pick are we going for with the Lions? Okay, we're going with my Sense Sports pick. So the video we did, who do I have the Lions going? And yes, I did remember right. He is still there. We're going with Donovan Ezeraku. Still a very possible pick there. Yeah. And who do we have left? We have four picks left. Colston Loveland fell a bit. Maybe not impossible. Kenneth Grant's still there. Amarian Hampton's still there. Malachi Starks is still there. Walter Nolan is still there. All the D linemen are still here. But no one crazy. Like, how are they not off the board there? You know what I mean? Like people are falling. Like, you know, it's kind of crazy, but I could still see it happening. Maybe I've just seen too many drafts now in my time. We're going with someone else's pick again for the Washington Commanders. Okay, whose pick are we going here? Whose pick are we going here? It is going to be my pick again. Okay, yep. They are still there. I think it's still a decent pick. I would maybe go Hampton if I would straight up pick here, but we're going with Luther Burden, getting Jaden Daniels another weapon. Because outside of Terry McLaurin, I think they could use a little bit of an upgrade. Definitely upgradable. And when you're picking 29th, especially in a draft class like this, I think that's definitely, a pick you could make there. So yeah, Luther Burden. Next up we have the Bills. I think the Bills here, they definitely are going to want one of these deals. Either Walter Nolan, Derek Harmon, or Kenneth Grant here. So let's see if we can get them one of those. If it's gonna let us. It's gonna be the consensus pick. Okay, I think D-line is the consensus. Let me just double check. Okay, Bills fans don't be too keen on making mock drafts, it looks like. Okay, so it's looking like the consensus maybe between D-line and corner. I think I'm seeing a little bit more D-line than corner. I've seen some Maxwell Hairstons and Trey Amoses. I think, though, I can't tell if I'm seeing a little bit more. I think it's a little bit pointing towards the D-line. And I think the tiebreakers, there's just way better D linemen on the board now. So I'm going to go Kenneth Grant for the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to say they go Kenneth Grant there. Just seems like it makes the most sense to me. So yeah, Les, 2 picks left. The Kansas City Chiefs. What will they do? Let's see. Could get a little weird. Okay. Well, I'm only doing the first round. I guess we could trade this with the Eagles and they can make their first pick. But, let's do it, I guess. Where the hell are the Chiefs? KC. And then Philly. I mean, one spot. What's that going to take? A 5th? Let's just say that. Let's actually... No, wait. How you unselect it? You can't unselect... Okay. 2/5 then. I don't know. Maybe the They really want this pick, and the Chiefs are being stingy. So, who are the Eagles taking here? Who did they trade up for this? You know what? I usually made it make sense, but we're gonna spin just because it's a lot. We're gonna spin the wheel again because we're gonna just have fun. I probably should have done this the whole time. Oh well. Same position as 2015. Okay, who did the Eagles take in 2015? Ooh, they took Nelson Aguilar. So, wide receiver Emeka Egbuka. Honestly, I wouldn't hate that. I know that they lost Josh Sweat. They lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson. But you have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and then Emeka Egbuka. That's a pretty good... That's a pretty good trio. For wide receivers. They're like... Current wide receivers like... Jihad Dotson. I mean, wide receiver is the biggest need for Philly, but I think that's not a terrible pick. All right, Chiefs. You can't trade down. I'm gonna have to respin if you hit that again. Isn't life so crazy? Like a 1 out of 12 chance, and it hit it again. Like. 1 out of 12 chance of me winning $1 million would never win in a million years. We get the consensus pick for the Chiefs here. For my knowledge, consensus is O-line. And I don't even know if I need to look this one up. Yeah, everyone seems to be going O-line. So we got Colston Loveland falling out. And Amari Hampton falling out of the first round. And Malachi Starks. So, would Tyler Booker be the only one that makes sense here? Or could they go like Wyatt Millum? Or, I think, Tyler Booker might be the only one that makes sense here. But, Tyler Booker, you are a Kansas City Chief. And that... Ladies and gentlemen, is the Wheels mock draft. The Colts traded back twice, and the Chiefs almost traded back twice if they could. That was weird. So yeah, definitely some weirdness, some wildness. But hey, sometimes that's the draft. This could be low-key a better way to predict it. I know I had to make some decisions throughout this too, so if I made bad decisions, I apologize. I kind of tried to leave it up to the wheel when I could, but I ultimately, had to make some decisions myself to who's doing what for what. I just thought at the end I maybe should have, for trade-ups, still spun the wheel, but I was like trying to make so who would someone trade up for, but I probably should have traded it up and then maybe spun the wheel. Maybe that would have been a little bit more fun, though. I don't know how, if there was no reason to trade up, I'd have to maybe think about it, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Is there any realistic thing about this? There's some, like, of course, Cam Ward, Travis Hunter to the Patriots, Mason Graham to the Jags. There's some stuff that could happen. Some stuff that might happen if it gives it like a chance, but some things like I don't know if Matthew Golan's there at 23 for the Packers, But this is a very fun, very interesting video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know how you thought of it. Not exactly my, my opinions. So or you can kind of roast it because not exactly, what I think is going to happen. If you do want to see that in the video I was referencing that me, Jimmy, and Isaiah did on the channel a few weeks ago, make sure you check that out. And yeah, we'll see what happens in the real draft. Who do you want your team to be? For me, the Steelers Honestly, I think Kenneth Grant's a real good option. I think we need to stop the run. I'm tired of having these backup running backs just kill us, and I think he's a good plug for that position there. So I love Kenneth Grant now he's falling. I wouldn't hate Jackson Dart if it works out, but that's very spooky. If Shadur somehow falls, the reason he fell would be spooky, but I'd be so down for that. I wouldn't even be mad at Amari and Hampton. So that's my team and my thoughts. What are you guys thinking for your teams? But that is gonna do it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like or dislike, subscribe or don't subscribe. You know it's always up to you. I will see you guys in the next video. You watch of me. I'll run through this one more time just so you can see. Very interesting mock draft to see the least. Good boy.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that